Hello and welcome. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so glad that you could join me. My name is Mandy Van Havermint and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up from Grey Eagle, Minnesota. And it's been crazy. As many of you know, I work for the Postal Service also, and it's like Christmas. I've been putting in a lot of overtime, and so I got home tonight and I'm like, I need to go live. I need some sympathy cards because I'm out of sympathy cards. So I decided that I'm going to make really fast sympathy cards. So I've got some card ideas for you. I am only using one stamp set. I am using the same punch. I'm going to show you two different layouts using that punch and that same, it's the same pack of designer series paper. I'm actually going to show you the Fitting Florets designer series paper because that's only available until January 4th or whenever it is sold out. In that suite, so that's a suite that Stampin' Up released early, and they released some limited edition designer series paper with it. The designer series paper is really cool. It will not be carrying over into the new catalog. So I am using that designer series paper along with the Inspired Thoughts stamp set, which is just a good all-around stamp set. Hello, Pam. Merry Christmas to you too. It's Christmas season. Yes. Holy cows, is it Christmas season at work? Whew. So I'm going to just kind of zero in on making some cards here tonight and showing you just some fun layouts, some simple fun layouts that I really didn't prepare for because I haven't had time to prepare. So let's flip the camera around and get stamping. Maybe. Boy, my camera's been like touchy when I don't want it to be touchy and not touchy when I want it to be touchy. I'm telling you, technology is not my friend sometimes. Okay. So let's see if we can, look at all that mess. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Here is the Fitting Florets designer series paper. Again, this is only available until the 4th of January. And the 4th of January, it's not going to be orderable anymore. But I think it's so pretty. So I just wanted to kind of run through and show you again. It's got, let's see here. Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry, Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So beautiful floral images on one side and kind of like a more solid, not solid, but less busy image on the other side. These are really pretty. They remind me of wintergreen like this. You can color those berries a red color and they're so pretty colored red. And then another light pattern on the back. Some beautiful flowers, and then a nice, I would never ever have thought to put Balmy Blue and Evening Evergreen together, but I really like it. I love this color, this pattern together. I think it's so pretty. And a nice polished pink and Blushing Bride on the back. These colors together, so fun. And a nice gingham check on the back. And then of course, this same kind of colors, just different pattern with that on the back. So like I said, this pack of paper is only available until basically the 3rd of January when the new catalog comes out. But let's get cracking. Let's make some cards. So like I said, I'm only going to be using the stamp set Inspired Thoughts. Really a nice stamp set. It's a cling mount stamp set. It's been around for a couple of years, but I think it is just perfect. I'm going to be using on both cards the sentiments with heartfelt sympathy on the outside and sheltering you with love at a time when words fall short. But there's also thank you so much, congratulations, sending healing thoughts your way, thinking of you on your special day, wishing you all the beautiful gifts of Christmas. It's your time to be remembered and to feel appreciated and know that you're celebrated. You make a difference every day. Peace, joy, love, and hello. So, like I said, it's a really good stamp set. And then I will also be using the Label Me Fancy punch. Just a nice classic punch. that we'll be using. So let's get cracking. First card is going to be using Evening Evergreen ink. I've got a card base that is 11 by 4 1/4, scored down the middle at 5 1/2. I'm telling you, my brain is just scrambled. It's just, oof. I honestly have come down and made cards almost every night this week just to like zone out. I've got a piece of a regular panel 4 by 5 1/4 of basic white. That's for the inside. And then I've got a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 of this piece of Designer Series paper. What I'm going to do with it is I am going to cut it. I think I'm going to cut it at about 2 inches. So that's going to be a 2-inch piece and a 3 1/4 inch piece. So I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to do one of the simplest designs ever. I'm going to flip one piece because these coordinate so nicely together. That looks just awesome. So I'm going to put them right onto my card. And if you didn't like it this way, if you wanted to do that, you very much could. Or you could do that. I mean, there's so many different options, right? So I choose this because this is how I prefer it. But there's no right or wrong. I did manage to get my Christmas cards out this week, though, one day. That's what I did one night when I sat down here at my desk. Well, I shouldn't say all of my Christmas cards. I have a few left. Some really local ones. But, so, there is that. Really simple, right? And then I'm going to use this ribbon, and I like this ribbon. It's called frayed ribbon. I personally am not a frayed kind of girl, though, so I use a trick. I'm going to just snip off that, and I take a lighter and I melt that down just a little bit, and then don't burn yourself because that is plastic. It will burn you. Because it's nylon, it will melt though and make it so it doesn't fray, and it will stay solid, because otherwise it really easily does fray out, and like I said, I don't like that. So I melt it. So another one of the tools that you wouldn't think, why does she have a lighter by all of her crafting stuff? It's so that I can melt ribbon. I should go through. I should make a video of all the weird tools I have down here. For real. Okay, so to adhere this down, the best way I found to adhere this down is Tombow glue, the green glue. And I'm literally just going to put a little like squiggle of glue across. And that holds it down just so nicely. And that is a great use of that ribbon. It gives some nice texture and just adds some nice interest. So let's do some stamping. I'm going to pull in my Evening Evergreen ink, and I'm going to grab my stamp. Like I said, it's with Heartfelt Sympathy. Sadly, I need sympathy cards. So I'm just going to stamp straight down, straight up. While I've got my ink pad open, I'm going to use Sheltering You with Love at a Time When Words Fall Short. So that is a little crooked. I have a friend that would say, if you were using a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig, you wouldn't have that problem. I know. I don't have a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig. Okay, I'm going to clean off my stamps here quick because I'm going to use those again. My well-loved chamois. All right, get that out of the way, set those up there. I've let those dry just a minute, so I'm going to center that and just pop that out. I've also got a scrap piece of evening evergreen that I'm going to use, and I'm going to do the same thing, just punching out. This is one of my favorite hacks with this punch. Any punch that's got a straight edge, you can do this trick with. So I am just going to snip that green one in half and add a little bit of adhesive. And then I'm going to just line those up. Oops. And that's going to give it just a little bit of interest. So it's not just white, just like that. Isn't that cute? I love that. So I'm going to take that and I am going to put it on there just like that. So I've got to find some dimensionals right here. I've actually got a relatively clean desk tonight. Relatively clean is the word. It's not clean by any means, but I can find my dimensionals. And I'm putting 4 on. Usually I would probably just do 2 or 3 on this little label, but I'm putting 4 on because of I really want it to stick nicely on this ribbon. And you could put it there, or you could put it down here. You know what? Let's put it down there. Let's do that. Kind of like it. There we go. And now I am going to use some iridescent pearls, basic jewels. I just like the look. To me, this looks kind of wintry. I like the iridescent look of these pearls with this paper. I think it just is so elegant. Maybe like that. Perfect. All right, so let's put that on the inside. And there is card number 1. Simple, right? I love that card. I love this paper. Okay, let's do card number 2. Card number 2 is a little different. Same stamp set, same designer series paper, but I've got a different pattern of it. This is another panel, 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of Blushing Bride that is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored down the middle at 4 1/4, and a piece of basic white for the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. Then I've got a piece of polished pink, and this is just a 1/4 inch strip, and I will show you what I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to line this corner and this corner. So I'm going to line the 2 opposite corners in the track, and I'm going to cut it. So it ends up having two triangles. Okay, so we can set that aside. This I will use on a different card. So now I'm going to bring in my piece of basic white, and I'm going to put my triangle down in the bottom corner. And I am a sucker for simple cards. I can make fancy schmancy cards, but I really do like the basics too, right? Okay, so the reason I was tilting this up is because I tend to hold the side, and then tap it down, so it lines it all up perfect on there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my multi-glue, and what's going to happen is I'm going to take this piece, and this is why I don't have a specific length for this piece, because I want it to overhang so I can trim it off. So I'm going to take my glue, and this is my trick for not getting glue everywhere, is I just went out a little bit, a thin little bead down the length of my triangle there. And I'm just going to line this up right with that edge, so it's held on there just so nice. I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. And while I'm letting it dry, we'll fold and burnish this. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need another white panel. I'm going to need another white panel. Don't worry, I have a bunch cut. So there's my second white panel. Okay, let's do some stamping. On this one, I've got polished pink, and I'm using those exact same sentiments and pretty much the same design with the label and everything. However, I forgot to take out a piece of scrap polished pink. There we go. I got it. Don't worry. There we go. I was making different colors before I started. Okay, so we're going to do our polished pink label. We're going to open up our ink and do some stamping. Let's see here. Same sentiment with heartfelt sympathy. Straight down, straight up. And then the same inside, sheltering you with love when words fall short. I think I mounted just a little wonky. That was down. Okay, let's put it up just a little higher. There. So much better. All right. So I'm going to let those sit for just a little bit so that they dry nicely. While I'm letting that dry, I'm going to take my scissors and snip my polished pink. Just like this. And that's a trick I really like to do, to cut a really thin piece of paper. To make it look like a ribbon. You could definitely put a ribbon on there, but I kind of like the paper too sometimes. So let's adhere this down. And this really is a simple card. This is, so really, I mean, look what you can make with just some basics. You've got a pack of paper, you've got a couple different colors of cardstock, some white cardstock, one punch, one stamp set. You can make a lot with just a little bit. So I hope that helps. I'm using all the same embellishments for real. This is pretty simple stamping, right? Okay, so let's cut this one in half just like we did the green, the Evening Evergreen. Just like that, and do the same thing right over here on this side. Perfect. All right, so now I think I'm going to put it in there just like that. So let's find our dimensionals again. Just like this. Take those backings off. Simple. I love that. And I find honestly that sometimes when we are making sympathy cards especially, less is more. I don't like that there. Where should we put those? Should we put them in there? Or are they going to get lost in there? I think they add just the perfect amount, honestly. Just a little bit of bling. Okay, so that is the outside of card number 2. And the inside. And you could absolutely adorn this with a little bit more designer series paper, maybe along the bottom or along the side. But I didn't have any cut, so that is card number 2. So there are my 2 cards. Again, this designer series paper goes out of goes off sale, I guess you would say, January 3rd. So when the new catalog comes out. Speaking of the new catalog, I'm going to flip my camera around. And yeah, they are super simple. Super simple, but super easy. And I think elegant. So speaking of the new catalog, I have seen new catalogs coming through the mail this week. The new mini catalog. I can't show you the inside, but they have been out in the mail this week. So if you were on my mailing list, you should have gotten them probably. I will be doing a paper share starting. I haven't exactly thought of the date, the final date for orders for that, but it's going to be a fantastic paper share. I will be putting the details on my Facebook, and I will be putting the details, I'll be putting a short video on YouTube for my YouTubers. It's going to be a really stellar deal. You're going to get a lot of designer series paper. I do believe it was over 250 pieces of 6x6 paper. So huge, and you'll get a little bit of every pack in the little mini catalog. So that will be very cool. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, next week is Christmas already. I know. I can't believe it snuck up on us so fast. But it'll be Christmas next weekend, so I probably will not be going live. I will be going live the following week, shortly before the new year. So stay tuned for that. And otherwise, I hope you have a spectacular weekend. Get some crafting in, and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.